dive into the Otterverse ecosystem.
Have you ever found yourself, wishing you could sell that digital game you finished? Or maybe that ebook you've already read? Or perhaps you've just been curious about how to maybe step into the world of digital assets and actually earn something from your online activities, but without feeling totally overwhelmed? Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take complex topics, peel back all the layers, and hopefully present them as easily digestible and, well, genuinely fascinating insights. Today, we're embarking on a journey into a really vibrant digital world. It's charming, technologically advanced, and offers some genuinely surprising ways to earn and build value. The Otterverse ecosystem. Our mission today is pretty clear. We're going to thoroughly explore how the Otterverse is constructed, really dive deep into its groundbreaking features, and maybe most importantly, uncover the exciting opportunities it presents you. Opportunities for earning, engaging, and maybe even investing in the future of digital content. We've meticulously reviewed a stack of strategic plans, comprehensive gold papers, practical user guides, really trying to illuminate every corner of this unique ecosystem. Our goal is for you to walk away from this deep dive not just well-informed, but hopefully with a crystal clear understanding of what's truly possible within this innovative space. So let's unpack this main question. How is the Otterverse fundamentally transforming traditional ideas of digital ownership and value? And maybe more to the point, what does this monumental shift really mean for you as a user, a creator, or even potentially a digital investor?
That's exactly it. That's the central question we really want to tackle today. The Otterverse is, I think, an exceptional example of how digital economies are not just evolving, but actively reshaping our whole understanding of value and ownership. What's truly fascinating here, I think, is its evolution. It's gone way beyond what we typically imagine as just a simple play-to-earn game.
It really has moved far beyond just being a game, hasn't it? It's transitioned into what they call a multi-layered digital economy. That sounds so much more robust and honestly more sustainable than just, earning tokens by clicking a few buttons. From your perspective, what makes this transformation so significant?
You've absolutely hit on a critical distinction there. This evolution, it really represents a shift towards a full-fledged digital economy, one designed for long-term viability. The entire architecture now is built upon 4 interconnected layers. And these aren't just like technical labels. They're strategically designed to guide a user's entire journey, right from their very first interaction, discovering the Otterverse, through their active participation, and ultimately leading to significant value creation within the whole ecosystem. It's like a structured pathway for engagement and growth.
Okay, so these 4 fundamental pillars underpin the whole thing. Where does a new user typically start their journey? What's the core idea behind that very first touch point?
Right, so a new user's journey pretty much always begins at the acquisition layer. This layer is mainly represented by those initial, quite engaging games like Otter Maze Game and Otterverse Defender. Their strategic role is really clear. They serve as the main channels for acquiring new users. They offer simple and satisfying mechanics that, they quickly draw players in. And in return, they reward them with tokens for their time and, importantly, consistent engagement. They're deliberately designed to be highly accessible. It really lowers the barrier to entry for anyone, even if you're completely new to this whole Web3 space. The idea is simply to make that first step into digital ownership both fun and rewarding.
Okay, so the games bring people into this world. Simple enough. But
Yes.
once you're inside, how does Otterverse make sure you stick around, stay engaged, stay invested? This is where it gets really interesting, I think. It leads us to the next layer, the retention and utility layer, which is basically the OtterHub, right?
The OtterHub is, yes, absolutely the central gravitational point for keeping users within the ecosystem. Its core function is to provide users with powerful tools to, multiply their accumulated assets, primarily through staking. Now, this staking mechanism is strategically designed. It encourages long-term token holding, what people in crypto call HO dealing, and it also incentivizes users to come back regularly to the app, claim their rewards, transforming what might be just passive accumulation into active, potentially profitable participation. Think of it almost like your personal financial command center, but right inside the Otterverse.
Got it. So games get you in, the hub keeps you engaged with staking, but what actually fuels this whole digital economy? That brings us naturally to the lifeblood of the Otterverse. It's tokens. This is the value layer.
Exactly. The 2 main tokens, Otterverse, OTTV, and Baby Otter, BOTR, they really are the lifeblood of the system. They are interconnected crypto tokens And they provide the fundamental economic motivation for users to move, seamlessly and profitably between all the different applications within the ecosystem. They provide the core incentives for earning, for holding, and crucially, for spending. They create that vibrant internal economy.
Now, this next layer, the utility and burning layer, this sounds like the real game changer, the key previously overlooked element that kind of solidifies the whole model. This is the Otterverse marketplace, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. The Otterverse marketplace is a truly transformative component. It fundamentally shifts the entire economic model. How? By introducing a really crucial concept, a token sink, or you could call it a burning mechanism. It does this by giving the tokens real, tangible utility. Users can actively spend their earned OTTV and BOTR tokens, spend them to buy and sell unique digital goods, what we commonly call NFTs, non-fungible tokens. This is such a crucial innovation because it directly tackles and, solves the central problem of the original model, which was essentially a closed inflationary loop, where tokens were mainly just earned and held, maybe staked, but without a clear, robust way for them to be used up or removed from circulation. This marketplace is where authentic, consistent demand gets created. It brings true economic balance to the whole thing.
Okay, wow. So what does this all really mean for me as a user? It sounds like it's not just about earning tokens and sitting on them anymore. This sounds like a genuine earn, stake, and spend revolution.
It absolutely is. The marketplace profoundly shifts the ecosystem. It moves it from what was essentially an earn to stake model to a fairly functional earn, stake, and spend model. And that transition is absolutely vital for creating a healthy circular economy within the Otterverse. Here, tokens have value not just for their potential multiplication through staking, which is nice, but more importantly, for actually acquiring unique, verifiable digital assets. So the long-term stability and success of Otterverse, it now really depends heavily on its ability to consistently generate genuinely attractive digital goods and content, things people want to buy. That's what will drive transactions and demand within this marketplace. Because think about it, without compelling items to spend those tokens on, that economic loop wouldn't effectively close. That makes the marketplace the absolute linchpin of the entire system.
That deeper explanation makes so much sense now. Okay, we've explored the grand design, these 4 interconnected layers, and this innovative earn, stake, and spend model. But to really grasp the mechanics, we probably need to dive into the actual digital currency that powers this whole Otter-themed world. Let's talk tokens. We've got 3 distinct ones to get familiar with, right?
That's right. We're looking at Otterverse, OTTV. Then there's Baby Otter, BOTR, and also the legacy token, Golden Otter, GOTR. Now, while all 3 are interconnected crypto tokens and they all play a role in the ecosystem's economy, each one fulfills a very distinct purpose. Understanding their individual functions is really key to navigating the Otterverse effectively and, getting the most out of it.
Okay, let's start with the main event, Otterverse, or OTTV. This is positioned as the main token of the Otterverse ecosystem, correct?
Indeed. OTTV, it made its debut back in 2025, taking over as the primary token from the original GOTR. And this transition, well, it was a strategic necessity. It was driven by a few technical issues with the previous proof of uniqueness function, or PUF contract. And essentially, there were some challenges with its transparency, how its code could be independently verified, and also some difficulties with getting smooth token swaps on decentralized exchanges like Uniswap. So the new OTTV contract was meticulously built on a clean and verifiable contract, which thankfully resolved those earlier limitations. It's an ERC20 token operating on WorldChain, which makes it fully EVM compatible.
EVM compatible, that means Ethereum virtual machine, right? So it plays nice with other Ethereum-based stuff.
Exactly. It essentially means it can easily interact and integrate with many other blockchain applications built on similar standards, which ensures broad compatibility and, importantly, a secure foundation for the whole ecosystem.
Got it. So built on solid ground. What about its supply? Is it constantly increasing, or is there a fixed limit?
No. OTTV has a strictly fixed total supply, capped at 100 million units, period.
Yeah.
But what's also really important to note is that a significant amount, specifically 1 million OTTV, has already been permanently burned by Protrader. So the actual circulating supply is now effectively below that initial 100 million mark already. That makes it a deflationary asset right from the start. This kind of scarcity model is often crucial for long-term value.
Okay, fixed supply, deflationary. Interesting. How can users actually get their hands on OTTV? I mean, beyond just buying it, are there ways to earn it through, participating?
Absolutely. There are a few key acquisition channels for users. You can earn OTTV directly by playing the Otter Maze game. Rewards there can be up to 50 OTTV per play. However, it's important to understand this is subject to a halving schedule, meaning those rewards will gradually decrease over time. That's to ensure sustainability. not just print tokens forever. Beyond the gaming aspect, OTTV can also be acquired through, well, on-chain purchases, using decentralized exchanges like Uniswap.
Uniswap, right, the big DX where you swap directly with others.
Exactly, peer-to-peer swaps. It's also available within specific World App mini-apps, things like Uno Wallet, HumanFi, DNA Wallet, and Cash Finance. So that makes it accessible even for folks who might be newer to crypto trading.
And once you've got some OTTV, what are its main uses inside the ecosystem? What can you actually do with it?
Right. Its primary uses are really central to the Otterverse economy. It's used for various ecosystem transactions. That includes paying listing fees on the Otterverse marketplace where, and this is a great perk, users get a substantial 50% discount if they pay with OTTV.
50%, that's significant.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's also fundamental to the staking mechanism within OtterHub, which, as we mentioned, is the main way you earn the other token, BOTR. Furthermore, the Otterverse team has made a very clear commitment to supporting its liquidity. All the fees collected by Otterverse are strategically used to strengthen the OTTV liquidity pools on exchanges. Specifically, they're focusing on the OTTV WLD and BOTR WLD pairs. And they've set a pretty ambitious goal: reach a minimum of $100,000 USD in liquidity on each of those pairs. That really helps stabilize the token's value and ensures healthy, deep trading markets for everyone using it.
Okay, so OTTV is the main currency, the backbone. Got it. What about BOTR, the baby otter token? How does it fit into the picture and what makes it different from OTTV?
Right, BOTR is quite distinct. It serves a more dynamic role. Unlike OTTV, it has no fixed supply. It's minted dynamically, primarily as a reward token. This design lets it adapt to the needs of the ecosystem, specifically for rewarding consistent active participation. Users mainly acquire BOTR by staking their OTTV or even their legacy GOTR for now on the OtterHub platform. The APY, the annual percentage yield for staking, is dynamic. It depends on both the amount you stake and how long you stake it for, ensuring a fair distribution based on commitment. It can also be earned for various community activities, and there's that convenient daily claim feature right in the OtterHub app, which gives you a consistent little stream of rewards just for checking in. Plus, the Otterverse Defender game also rewards players directly with BOTR, so it's a token that's deeply integrated with user engagement and rewards.
And what are the key uses for BOTR once you've earned it? Can you trade it? Use it?
Yes, BOTR is fully tradable. You can exchange it on decentralized exchanges, just like OTTV. And crucially, just like OTTV, it can be used to pay those marketplace listing fees, also with that same very appealing 50% discount.
Ah, okay, so both tokens give you that discount.
Exactly. This makes BOTR a direct incentive for active participants. It allows users to actively lower selling costs on the marketplace, which directly increases their potential profits when they list their digital goods. It really reinforces that whole earn, stake, spend loop we talked about earlier. It provides a clear pathway from engagement like staking or playing Defender right through to tangible savings on the platform.
Makes sense. And now what about the original Golden Otter, the GOTR? It sounds like it's a legacy token kind of being phased out. What's its story exactly?
That's pretty accurate. GOTR was the original token of the project. It served as the initial foundation. However, it was ultimately replaced by OTTV due to those technical flaws in the PUF contract we mentioned before. It actually shared the same fixed supply of 100 million tokens as OTTV. Now, to ensure a smooth and fair transition for all the early adopters, there's an ongoing one-to-one swap from GOTR to OTTV available directly within the OtterHub app. This allows users to migrate their holdings pretty seamlessly.
Okay, so for any listeners out there who might still be holding GOTR, it really sounds like there's a pretty important deadline they absolutely need to be aware of.
Absolutely. This is a critical point, a real call to action for current GOTR holders. There's a very important end date for full support of GOTR and for the swap mechanism itself.
Yeah.
July 31st, 2025.
July 31st, 2025. Got it.
Right. After this date, the staking contract for GOTR will simply cease to function. That means no new BOTR tokens will be minted for people staking GOTR. And maybe even more critically, token withdrawal will also stop working due to a known minting error in that old contract. Any remaining GOTR liquidity after that date will be transferred over to the OTTV WLD pair to further solidify the new main token's market position. So imagine your funds potentially losing their utility or even becoming, well, stuck if you don't migrate them in time. That's why this deadline isn't just like a suggestion. It's really an urgent requirement for GOTR holders to protect their assets and make sure they can continue participating in the ecosystem. And just as another point, Protrader has already burned 1 million Jody OTR, further reducing its legacy supply and just reinforcing that shift over to OTTV.
That's a really crucial warning for our listeners holding Joey TR. Okay, this brings up an important question. How are these rewards actually structured? Within the games, within staking, how do the underlying tokenomics really play out to ensure the ecosystem stays healthy?
Yeah, the reward mechanics are actually quite thoughtfully designed. They aim to incentivize early adoption while at the same time ensuring long-term sustainability. It's a balancing act. For instance, in the Otter Maze game, there were initial pretty substantial reward pools allocated specifically 1.5 million due to OTR and 1.5 million OATV for the initial phase. But a key feature is the halving schedule that's implemented for rewards in the Maze game.
Ah, like Bitcoin's halving.
Exactly like Bitcoin's halving. The reward range decreases over predetermined phases. So, for example, it might start with rewards from 1 to 50 OTTV per play, but then gradually reduce down to maybe 1 to 5 OTTV in later phases. This creates predictable supply shocks, which tends to encourage long-term holding and potentially value appreciation as demand meets a gradually dwindling supply of newly minted tokens. And crucially, after exhaustion, meaning once these initial limited reward pools are fully distributed, future rewards from the game will be paid out in BOTR. This further integrates BOTR as the primary ongoing utility and reward token while carefully managing the fixed supply of OTTV. Now, for the staking mechanics in OtterHub, users stake either their legacy BOTR until the deadline or their new OTTV to earn BOTR, and they earn it with a dynamic annual percentage yield, or APY. This APY isn't fixed. It's designed to be linearly interpolated over 5 years. That means it starts at a higher rate and then gradually decreases over that 5-year period.
So it rewards early stakers more, but becomes more sustainable over time.
Precisely. It avoids being an unsustainable giveaway. It's a carefully balanced system that rewards those early adopters generously, but transitions smoothly to a more stable long-term incentive model. This helps prevent those sudden inflation crashes that have unfortunately plagued many other reward tokens you see in the crypto space. There are different tiers based on the amount you stake. For example, Tier 4, that's for stakes over $500,000, GOTR or OTTV, offers an initial 100% APY, which then interpolates down to 20% over those 5 years. While there's a specific formula for calculating the BOTR rewards, it's stake APY TTV 20/65, the key takeaway is actually quite simple. Your rewards are directly proportional to how much OTTV you stake and how long you keep it staked for. And that APY dynamically adjusts over time to balance those early incentives with long-term sustainability. It really rewards commitment.
That is a very clever way to balance things, rewarding early birds but keeping it stable long term. Okay, let's pivot now to the actual gateway apps. The daily experiences that really bring the Otterverse to life for you as a user. First up, OtterHub. You mentioned it's like a command center. Imagine a daily ritual that not only earns you crypto, but also manages your Otterverse world. What makes OtterHub so essential?
OtterHub is genuinely more than just a tool. It's a retention engine and a command center for the entire Otterverse ecosystem. That's how the team sees it. Its primary strategic goal is to seamlessly build the habit of daily login, to effectively create a kind of daily Web3 ritual for its users. This really helps to keep users consistently engaged and connected with the platform. It fosters that sense of routine and continuous interaction within this whole digital world.
And how does it actually manage to build that consistent daily habit? I understand there's a daily BOTR collection feature, which sounds like a pretty nice, simple incentive.
You're exactly right. The daily BOTR collection feature is a simple yet incredibly powerful mechanism for building that habit. It ensures those regular user touchpoints. You just open the app, tap a button, and claim your Baby Otter tokens. It's designed to be really low friction and appealing. As they say, there are no catches, just regular rewards. And that makes it an appealing, very low-barrier way to maintain engagement and provide clear, consistent value to the user every single day. It's like a small, consistent reminder of the value you're gaining just by being part of it. Now, beyond that daily claim, the OTTV staking we talked about is really OtterHub's key function. This provides OTTV with its first really significant layer of utility beyond just being a currency to trade. By enabling users to stake their OTTV, the platform actively encourages users to long-term hold assets, HODL, in anticipation of profits, which in turn helps to stabilize the ecosystem by reducing selling pressure and providing a consistent demand source for OTTV. It really is a win-win. Users earn passively, and the ecosystem gains stability.
And I also saw something about a referral program and how it integrates with World ID. That sounds like a particularly clever move, especially for tackling those common Web3 challenges like bot accounts and fake users.
It is indeed. It's described as OtterHub's biggest partially untapped asset for growth and building a real community. The incentive structure is straightforward and quite appealing. You receive 25 BOTR for each friend you successfully refer. And you get an additional 50 BOTR if that friend verifies their humanity using their World ID.
Ah, so there's a bonus for verified humans.
Exactly. And this is a strategically brilliant move because it aligns perfectly with the whole ethos of World App, which is all about promoting and rewarding human-first applications. By leveraging that proof of humanity through World ID verification, it significantly helps address those nagging issues like bot accounts and Sybil attacks where one person creates many fake accounts. This ensures that real, unique individuals are the ones engaging with the ecosystem, which fosters a much more trustworthy, secure, and ultimately authentic user experience within Otterverse.
Okay, so we know the hub is for retention, keeping people engaged, but how do new users actually get started? How do they acquire those initial tokens in the first place? It all begins, as you said, with the acquisition games, Otter Maze and Otterverse Defender.
Yes, exactly. These games serve as the main user acquisition tools. They're strategically positioned as the primary distribution channels for OTTV and BOTR, respectively. They are essentially the main gateway into the world of Otterverse for newcomers. They're designed to make that initial entry as smooth and, well, as enjoyable as possible.
Tell us a bit more about the Otter Maze game. What's its specific appeal? Why start there?
Otter Maze game is categorized as a simple skill game. It's specifically designed to effectively lower the barrier to entry. It makes the ecosystem accessible, even to people who are completely new to Web3 concepts, who might find other crypto stuff intimidating. And the marketing message around it wisely emphasizes that the OTTV you earn from playing will have future utility in other games and applications.
Yeah.
That builds anticipation for users and signals that their earnings aren't just for this one single game, they're building value for the future. The game also encourages consistent engagement, as users are incentivized to play once every 24 hours to maximize earnings. This daily engagement not only distributes tokens fairly, but also helps build that routine of interaction with the Otterverse ecosystem.
And Otterverse Defender, what's its particular role in attracting users? It sounds even simpler.
It really is. Otterverse Defender is characterized by its extremely simplified mechanics. I mean, players literally throw ORO coins at falling eggs. That's the game.
Throw coins at eggs. Okay.
Yeah. This deliberate simplicity suggests it's explicitly aimed at the most casual players, trying to maximize reach and make it incredibly easy to earn those initial tokens. You don't need a deep ecosystem understanding or complex strategies. It acts as a direct source of BOTR tokens. So it provides another very low-friction entry point and gives users immediate gratification, quickly introducing them to the concept of earning crypto through just simple, fun play.
Right, get them earning something tangible right away. Okay, now let's talk about what you called the economic heart, the Otterverse marketplace. This is where things get truly innovative and honestly, potentially revolutionary for how we think about digital ownership.
The Otterverse marketplace is, and this isn't an exaggeration, the economic heart of the ecosystem and its most important strategic element. It functions as a specialized NFT market, and its core innovation is that it assigns real, usable value to those OTTV and BOTR tokens. It gives them a direct purpose, enabling verifiable digital commerce, buying and selling stuff.
And what does it actually mean to trade digital goods here? Like, what kinds of things can you actually buy and sell? And maybe more importantly, what problem does this really solve for someone like me who's just used to traditional digital purchases on, say, Amazon or Steam?
Right. So it allows users to buy and sell various forms of digital content, but where the ownership is definitively verifiable on the blockchain. And this is crucial because it transforms tokens from purely speculative assets into a medium of exchange. It gives them concrete value and utility. Examples of what could be sold are actually quite broad. We're talking graphic files for designers, music tracks for artists, video content, ebooks for writers, online courses for educators, software licenses for developers, even things like license keys for other online services. Essentially, anything that can be digitized and hold unique value can potentially be traded there. Now, you hit on a critical point about solving a real problem. The core issue with traditional digital ownership, think about buying a game on Steam, or an ebook on Kindle, or music on iTunes, is exactly that. The inability to legally resell or transfer those purchased digital goods.
Yeah, once you buy it, it's just stuck in your account forever, pretty much.
Exactly. The Otterverse solves this problem by allowing safe resale of digital goods, providing verifiable ownership rights through these NFTs. It's truly bringing back the spirit of old-school game trading, like swapping floppy disks or game cartridges at a flea market, but doing it in a secure, verifiable Web3 form. So, no floppy disks, just NFTs. This means your digital purchases can actually retain value and be exchanged just like physical goods can. It's a huge shift. And this commitment to ensuring real people are involved in these transactions, that's powerfully reinforced by the marketplace's integration with World ID. The platform actively uses World ID to ensure transactions occur between real people, which effectively helps eliminate the problem of fake accounts and bots. This, in turn, is absolutely foundational for building trust and security, which are, let's face it, crucial for any functional and thriving market. Knowing you're trading with a verified human adds a significant layer of confidence and seriously reduces the risk of fraud.
And how does the marketplace specifically contribute to that token sink or burning mechanism concept we discussed earlier, the one that's so vital for the ecosystem's long-term health and avoiding inflation?
Right. This is where the marketplace becomes truly fundamental to the tokenomics. It acts as a direct counterforce to potential inflation. Every single purchase of an NFT using either OTTV or BOTR effectively removes these tokens from the buyer's wallet, and in many cases, potentially from circulation entirely, depending on how the seller handles their revenue. This creates a natural demand for these tokens. It directly justifies their acquisition in games and through staking because people need them to buy things they want. It's a critical built-in token sink that helps manage the token supply, and it's absolutely essential for the long-term health and stability of the entire token economy. It ensures tokens have a real, consistent utility and are actively consumed within the ecosystem, creating that robust, closed economic loop we talked about.
Okay, so we keep mentioning NFTs, and they're clearly super central to how Otterverse works, especially the marketplace. But what exactly are they? For those of us who might still find the whole concept a little murky, maybe even intimidating, can you give us a simple, clear explanation?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's really essential to demystify NFTs. A simple way to understand them is maybe to contrast them with regular tokens, like our OTTV or BOTR. Those regular tokens are fungible. Think of them like interchangeable banknotes. One OTTV is exactly the same as any other OTTV, and you can swap them one for one without any difference in value. NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, are the exact opposite. They are unique. Each NFT is unique and cannot be exchanged one-to-one with another of equal value because each one represents a specific singular item or piece of data.
So they're truly like one-of-a-kind digital items, even if, say, the picture or the music file itself isn't unique. The token is unique.
Exactly. You can think of an NFT as a kind of digital certificate based on blockchain technology that confirms the originality and ownership rights of a specific asset. And that asset could be almost anything digital. A piece of digital art, a music track, an in-game item, a unique collectible, even something like a license key or a ticket. Common examples you might have heard about are digital art collections like, say, CryptoPunks or Bored Ape Yacht Club, where each image is represented by a unique, verifiable NFT. The most common standard for these NFTs on Ethereum and also on WorldChain, which Otterverse uses, is called ERC 721. The standard ensures their uniqueness, their verifiability, and their easy transferability on the blockchain.
Okay, that helps clarify. Now, Otterverse uses NFTs in a really smart and, I think, innovative way to solve that big problem for you as a digital consumer, specifically around digital ownership and the ability to resell stuff. There are two key types of NFTs at play in the marketplace that actually enable this, right?
Yes, exactly. These two types of NFTs are precisely what unlock the truly revolutionary aspects of digital ownership within the Otterverse ecosystem. They have distinct yet very complementary roles. First up, we have the Access NFT. Its primary purpose is simple. It's issued to the buyer as proof of purchase and a license to the file. It essentially grants the holder the right to use the content they've bought, whether that's an ebook, a piece of software, a graphic pack, or a game. Now, what's truly innovative about this NFT is its built-in resale functionality. Sellers, when they list an item, can choose to enable an Allow Access resale toggle.
Ah, so it's optional for the seller.
It's optional, yes. If this toggle is enabled by the seller, then the Access NFT can be resold on the secondary market. This allows the buyer to seamlessly transfer the license to another user. Much like, selling a used game cartridge or a physical book you no longer need. If the seller disables this toggle, then the access remains tied exclusively to the original buyer's account. They can use it, but not resell it. This ability to legally and verifiably resell digital content is a unique advantage of the platform. It represents a significant departure from traditional digital content models, putting much more power back into the hands of the consumer. You could imagine it functioning as a verifiable, blockchain-secured license key for games, software, or exclusive media content.
Okay, so the Axis NFT is all about me, the buyer, and my ability to use and crucially resell the content if the creator allows it. That is a huge shift. What's the second type of NFT then, and how does it play into this whole new model?
The second type is called the listing NFT. Now, this is a digital certificate of ownership for the offer itself. It's issued to the seller when they initially create a new listing on the marketplace. It contains all the important metadata about the offer, things like the unique listing ID, the original seller's wallet address, the specific sales terms they set, and crucially, holding this listing NFT entitles the holder to receive payments from buyers for that specific listing going forward.
Okay, wait. This is where it gets really wild, right? Because it goes beyond just reselling a product I bought. So what does this all mean? Someone could actually buy my sales offer, not just the ebook I wrote, but the actual right for me to sell that ebook on the platform. That sounds like a potential game changer, especially for creators.
Exactly. This is a truly groundbreaking innovation, I think. Unlike almost all other sales platforms, where only the original creator remains the permanent owner of their sales offer and the associated revenue stream, Otterverse actually allows the listing NFT itself to be transferred or sold to other users. So if you own a listing NFT for a product you created, you can choose to sell that NFT to someone else. The new owner then effectively becomes the seller of the product. They start receiving the commissions, the revenue from all future sales generated by that listing, just like the original creator did before selling it.
Wow.
Yeah. This opens up really exciting possibilities for both creators and, well, investors. Creators could potentially monetize their success up front by selling a popular listing for a significant lump sum, maybe if their product is performing really well. Imagine a musician not just earning royalties from streams, but having the option to sell the future royalty stream of a hit song represented by this listing NFT. That gives them immediate capital for their next project.
Or a software dev selling the distribution rights to their popular app.
Precisely. Allowing them to fund new projects, perhaps without needing traditional venture capital. It's like turning your digital creation into a kind of mini franchise that itself can be bought and sold.
Now, on the flip side, buyers who are essentially acting as investors in this scenario can acquire potentially profitable listings for future revenue without having had to create the content themselves. They're buying into a proven revenue stream. Now, it's really important to remember, the original creator still retains the actual copyrights to the original file, the intellectual property itself, but the right to distribute and profit from sales via that specific marketplace listing. That's what gets transferred with the listing NFT. This could fundamentally redefine how intellectual property is monetized in the digital age. It's quite profound.
This whole idea, being able to resell digital goods and even the sales offer itself, it really does remind me of something from like my childhood. Going to a flea market or a used game store to swap old video games. It feels like a beautiful glimpse into the past, but powered by future tech. A real leap forward.
It's a very apt comparison, I think. And that sense of nostalgia might even be deliberate. The Otterverse seems to be intentionally connecting to that spirit of old school game trading. Swapping physical items, but seamlessly updating it for the secure, verifiable Web3 era we're entering. And this directly addresses that common frustration so many of us feel with modern digital purchases, where you traditionally lose all rights to something you've bought once you're done with it. It just becomes a dead-end item in your digital library. Now, for game developers specifically, and really any digital content creators, this model offers some clear and compelling benefits. They can sell their games using these Axis NFTs as activation keys. Critically, they can track verifiable ownership via the blockchain, ensuring total transparency. But perhaps the biggest advantage for developers is that this model could significantly increase sales. Why? Because people are generally more willing to buy games knowing they could resell or trade them later if they don't enjoy it or finish it.
Right. It lowers the purchase risk for the consumer.
Exactly. That added flexibility and the perceived retained value for the consumer can drive significant market demand that simply wouldn't exist in those traditional lockdown digital storefronts.
Okay, so beyond all the fascinating tech and the philosophy behind it, let's get practical. For me as a user, how can I actually put some crypto in my pocket through Otterverse? What are the most direct ways to earn and participate?
Right, let's break down the direct earning paths. There are several straightforward and pretty accessible ways. First, simply by playing the games. You can earn OTTV from the Otter Maze game and BOTR from Otterverse Defender. Direct rewards for engagement. Second, staking your OTTV is a key method. You earn passive BOTR rewards by locking up your OTTV tokens in OtterHub, leveraging that dynamic APY model we discussed. It's kind of a set-it-and-forget-it earning stream once you've staked. Third, there's that satisfying daily ritual, simply logging into OtterHub each day to claim your free BOTR. It's small, but it builds up and keeps you connected. Fourth, the referral program is another avenue. You earn BOTR for inviting friends, and remember that extra bonus if those friends verify their humanity using World ID. This helps grow a legitimate, human-powered community. And finally, and this is a big one for those with a creative side or existing digital assets, selling your own digital products directly on the Otterverse marketplace. This is a powerful path to earnings. If you're a graphic designer, a musician, a writer, a software developer, an educator, you can directly sell your graphic files, music tracks, videos, ebooks, online courses, software, or even license keys for other services. And the terms are pretty favorable. You receive a generous 90% revenue share from each sale, plus you gain immediate exposure within this growing blockchain and WorldCoin community.
90% is quite high compared to many platforms.
It is. And it's important for sellers to really utilize the licensing options the marketplace provides. For instance, you could sell graphics with a personal use license, or offer a commercial license at a higher price point, or offer different access levels for different use cases of your software. The key here, really, as with any marketplace, is to provide high-quality, unique, and compelling content. That's what will maximize your sales potential and help you stand out from the crowd.
That sounds incredibly appealing, especially for creators looking for better terms and new audiences. But what if I'm, say, more of an investor type? Or maybe someone who wants to leverage this cool tech without necessarily being a creator myself? Are there more advanced strategies for earning or building value?
Absolutely. The Otterverse definitely offers intriguing investment and advanced strategies that go beyond just direct creation. One direct way, which we touched on earlier, is reselling access NFTs. If a creator enables that resale option for their digital product, you, as the initial buyer, can legally and verifiably resell your purchased digital content, which is represented by your access NFT whenever you no longer need it. This fosters a vibrant secondary market for these digital goods, providing real liquidity for your digital library, which is something we don't usually have. But the truly innovative investment opportunity, the one that gets a lot of people excited, lies in investing in listing NFTs, effectively acquiring the offers themselves. The concept is this. If you identify a certain digital product that is selling very well on the marketplace, maybe it's a popular ebook, a widely used software utility, a hit music track, you can consider buying the listing NFT from its original creator, assuming, of course, that the creator is willing to sell it.
Okay, so I spot a hit, and I approach the creator to buy the listing itself.
Potentially, yes. The significant benefit here is that by owning that listing NFT, you become the new owner of that offer, which means you will start to receive revenue from all future sales of that product generated through that specific listing. It's almost like acquiring distribution rights for successful content without having had to create it yourself. You're buying into an existing, potentially profitable business.
So I could essentially buy the rights to sell someone else's already successful digital product and then just earn from every future sale it makes on the marketplace.
Right.
That's quite a leap in how we normally think about digital assets.
It really is. And you could also potentially speculate with these listing NFTs. Maybe buy one early, perhaps when a product is just gaining traction but isn't huge yet, and then resell that listing NFT at a higher price later on once the product becomes much more popular and its revenue stream is clearly proven. This offers a unique form of digital asset trading, turning successful digital creations themselves into potentially investable assets. Now for creators, this offers a way to monetize their success up front. They could sell the listing NFT for a significant amount if their product is really popular, potentially providing immediate capital for new projects or even offering a comfortable way to exit from managing that specific product. However, it's absolutely crucial, as with any investment, to acknowledge that this involves inherent risk. It requires careful assessment of the potential future profits versus the asking price for the listing NFT. Due diligence is always key. Don't just jump in blindly.
Wise words. Okay, for our more tech-savvy listeners, the ones who like to build things, it sounds like there's another powerful layer of engagement here. API integration for developers and businesses. What kinds of possibilities does this unlock?
Yes, this is a really potent aspect. Otterverse provides a robust and open API application programming interface, which is accessible at https://api.otterverse.io. This API allows developers to check in real time if a specific crypto wallet holds an Access NFT for a particular listing ID on the marketplace. This makes it an ideal tool for verifying licenses, subscriptions, tickets, or access to paid content, completely outside of the Otterverse marketplace app itself. It truly extends the utility of these NFTs into broader external applications.
Okay, so I could build my own app that checks if someone owns an Otterverse NFT.
Exactly. Think about the practical use cases. A game developer could integrate this API with their game. Instead of relying on old-school license keys, they could just check if a user's connected wallet genuinely holds a valid license represented by an Access NFT to play specific content or unlock certain levels. Or, event organizers could verify tickets for virtual or even physical events simply by scanning a user's wallet address for the relevant Access NFT, ensuring legitimate entry without needing a separate ticketing system. For software or service providers, it offers a potentially revolutionary way to manage access without traditional subscription models or logins. The NFT itself acts as the verifiable authorization token to access the service or software. The API also enables other useful capabilities, like checking who has access to a given product by querying wallet addresses, automating access grants immediately after a purchase on the marketplace, and even integrating Otterverse CRM data with existing CRM systems, customer relationship management to track user access, or with CMS systems, content management systems for gating exclusive content based on NFT ownership. This really empowers businesses with full control over digital distribution, licensing, and access authorization, without them needing to go through the hassle and expense of implementing their own complex blockchain infrastructure. It's a powerful toolkit for building the next generation of decentralized applications, or dApps.
That's huge potential for broader adoption, really moving Otterverse beyond just its own native apps and into the wider web. Okay, switching back to creators for a moment. If I'm selling my own digital products on the marketplace, how do I maximize my profits? How do I make sure my offerings truly stand out in the crowd?
Right. Maximizing profits and visibility as a seller involves several practical steps, many familiar to online selling, but with a Web3 twist. First, focus intensely on creating an eye-catching listing. This means using professional, high-quality thumbnails that grab attention in a busy feed. Craft catchy yet descriptive titles, think Vector Icon Pack 100 unique graphics instead of just a vague super file. And write concise yet informative descriptions, maybe using those first 200 characters to really highlight the key benefits and features that would compel a buyer to click and learn more. Second, make absolutely sure you use the proper category and keywords. Placing your products in the correct relevant category and including a good variety of relevant keywords will significantly improve their searchability and how easily potential buyers can discover them. Don't skip this step. Third, think carefully about competitive pricing and promotions. Set a price that accurately reflects the true value of your product, but also don't be afraid to offer competitive pricing, especially initially, or run promotions to attract those crucial first buyers and generate positive reviews, which builds social proof. Remember, you receive 90% of the sale price, so you need to factor in that 10% sales commission when you're setting your final price. You could also enhance your offer by adding enticing bonuses or maybe promising unlimited free updates in the future to create ongoing value for buyers. Though remember that caveat, you cannot update files that are already uploaded, so you need to plan for future content drops as separate listings or versions. Fourth, and this is absolutely essential, promotion outside the platform. Don't just list it and hope. You need to drive traffic. Leverage your existing social media channels, Instagram, Twitter X, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, whatever you use, and also relevant niche communities online. Share direct links to your Otterverse listings. Emphasize the unique value and perhaps the exclusivity of your offerings. Maybe even consider creating limited editions using the NFT structure to drive urgency and collectability. Fifth, maintain consistent activity and updates. Regularly expand your portfolio with new, high-quality content. This not only gives buyers more options, but also increases your overall visibility on the marketplace as an active creator. Also, be active in the community, perhaps on their Telegram channel, engage directly with potential buyers, answer questions, and build trust.
And there was that money-saving gem I noticed, which seems particularly impactful for sellers trying to maximize margins, using the native tokens, OTTV or BOTR, to cut down on those listing costs.
Yes. This is indeed a crucial and sometimes overlooked tip. You can get a significant 50% discount on all your listing fees simply by choosing to pay with either OTTV or BOTR tokens instead of using standard currency like WLD or potentially fiat in the future.
And that's permanent, not just a temporary offer.
Correct. The documentation states it's a permanent platform feature. This substantially lowers your operational costs as a seller, especially if you have many products or higher price items. As they point out, Lowering your costs increases your margin on every single sale. That can be particularly impactful for creators with numerous listings or for high-ticket items where every percentage point of profit really matters. These saved funds are essentially more profit directly in your pocket, boosting your bottom line immediately. Now, if you're just starting out as a seller, or maybe you don't hold these tokens yet, you can acquire them easily. You can buy them on decentralized exchanges like Uniswap, you can earn OTTV from playing the Otter Maze game, or you can consistently earn BOTR by staking any OTTV you acquire in the OtterHub. What's more, there's an ecosystem benefit too. The fees that are paid in these tokens are returned to the community. For instance, they might be used to increase liquidity for the tokens on exchanges, which helps stabilize prices and support the whole ecosystem's health. So by using these tokens for your listing fees, you're not just saving yourself money, you're actively making a kind of investment in the platform's future and participating directly in its circular economy. It's a nice alignment of incentives.
Okay, this whole ecosystem, the Otterverse, it lives on something called World Chain, and you access it primarily through the World app. Now, for many listeners, that might sound like a completely new, maybe even intimidating world. What does that actually mean for me as a regular user?
Yeah, it means you're operating within a pretty cutting edge and, importantly, user-centric Web3 environment. WorldChain itself is a relatively new blockchain network, but it's specifically designed for the people. That's a significant departure from many existing blockchains that can feel complex or expensive. A key benefit for you, the user, is that it offers free transactions for verified users. Meaning, if you verify with World ID, you likely won't incur those often frustrating gas fees that can be a real barrier for many people wanting to use crypto applications. That's huge.
Free transactions. Wow, okay.
Yeah, for verified humans. It also uniquely distributes WLD tokens, the native token of WorldCoin, to verified individuals, which promotes broad ownership and participation in the network. As for the World app, think of it as your user-friendly crypto wallet and your direct gateway into the broader WorldCoin ecosystem, which includes Otterverse apps. It's designed to be lightweight, it's available on both iOS and Android, and crucially, it's self-custodial.
Self-custodial, meaning I control my keys, my money.
Exactly. It means you retain full and exclusive control over your funds and your private keys. This is a fundamental principle of Web3, giving you true ownership and control rather than relying on a third party. The app even offers some learn-to-earn features, allowing you to earn small amounts of crypto just for engaging with educational content about Web3 and crypto.
That's a significant benefit, especially the free transactions for verified users. This leads us perfectly into a really fascinating aspect of the Otterverse and World Chain, this whole concept of World ID and proving your humanity. You mentioned it helps ensure real people are interacting on the marketplace. How does that verification process actually work? Is it complicated? Does it compromise my privacy?
Right. World ID is the core mechanism for proving your unique humanity in the digital realm, but importantly, without compromising your personal identity. The verification process itself is quite innovative. It involves downloading the World app first. Then you need to find a physical location that has an orb device. These are gradually rolling out globally.
The orb, that silver ball thing.
That's the one. At the orb, you undergo a quick biometric verification, specifically an iris scan. This scan simply confirms your uniqueness. It verifies that you are a distinct individual and, crucially, that you haven't already registered for a World ID. Now, what's absolutely crucial to understand for privacy is that an image of your eye is never stored. The orb processes the scan locally, right there on the device, turning it into a unique iris code, basically just a numerical representation of the unique patterns in your iris. And then the original image is deleted immediately. WorldCoin, the organization behind it, emphasizes that they only verify uniqueness, not your identity. They collect no personal data about you, no name, no address, nothing. It simply ensures that one real person equals one World ID. It's all about proving you're human, not who you are. Now, the benefits of obtaining a World ID are pretty substantial within this ecosystem. You become a verified human within the WorldCoin network, which, as we just discussed, allows for those free transactions on WorldChain, saving you money on fees. You may also become eligible for potential WLD grants, depending on your region and the ongoing distribution schedule for their token. And perhaps most importantly in this context, it serves as a digital proof of uniqueness. This can be used to authenticate yourself in various Web3 applications, like the Otterverse marketplace, without revealing any personal information. This is key for combating bots and ensuring a fairer, more trustworthy digital environment for everyone.
Okay, this next one is a big one for many of us still trying to wrap our heads around how Web3 actually works day to day. How does logging into a Web3 application using your crypto wallet, like World app, differ from what we're all used to with traditional usernames and passwords? It really feels like a complete paradigm shift in how we manage our online identity.
It truly is a fundamental shift, yes. It moves away from centralized control towards user empowerment. With traditional login, Web 2.0 style, you use a username and a password. These credentials are then typically stored on centralized servers controlled by the company whose website or app you're using. This carries inherent risks. We hear about data breaches all the time that can expose your passwords, and it forces you to remember dozens, maybe hundreds of different credentials across countless websites, which is a nightmare.
Tell me about it.
Right. And you're also often relying on third parties, like using those login with Facebook or login with Google buttons to verify your identity, which essentially means you're handing over control, or at least access, to your digital self to those large corporations. Now, Web3 login is fundamentally different. It empowers you with much greater control and security. Your crypto wallet acts as your account, and its associated private cryptographic key acts as your password, but in a way you never actually reveal. When you want to log into a Web3 application, the site will typically ask you to connect wallet. You choose your wallet, like World app. After connecting, you'll usually be prompted to sign a unique message. Now, this isn't a password you type in. It's a digital signature. Your wallet uses its private key to cryptographically sign a message provided by the website, proving you control that specific wallet address. It's kind of like signing a legal document with your unique signature to prove your identity, but it's done entirely digitally and, crucially, without revealing any personal information or secrets.
So I'm proving I own the wallet without showing them the key.
Exactly. The key advantage here is profound. You do not reveal any password or confidential information, like your private key or seed phrase, to the website or application you're logging into. You prove your identity without exposing any secrets. This completely eliminates the problem of remembering multiple passwords, because your wallet becomes your universal self-managed key to the decentralized web. And crucially, your credentials are not stored on a server controlled by the application. This means even if the application you're using gets hacked or compromised, your login information isn't at risk because you never actually gave it to them in the first place. It also allows for genuinely anonymous logins in many cases. And when combined with the added layer of World ID verification, it becomes both name-free and highly bot-resistant, ensuring you're interacting with real, unique individuals, which fosters a much more authentic and secure digital space.
That is a powerful change, especially for personal security and reducing password fatigue. Okay, one more piece of the puzzle. What about Protrader? How does that platform fit into the wider Otterverse picture, especially when we talk about external liquidity and connecting to the broader crypto market?
Right. Protrader is a decentralized exchange, or DX, but it's specifically designed for advanced users and perhaps professionals within the crypto trading space. It offers more sophisticated trading tools than simpler swap platforms. Its core function in relation to Otterverse is to allow users to exchange their earned OTTV or BOTR for other assets, things like WorldCoin's WLD token, stablecoins like USDC, or major cryptocurrencies like Ethereum outlet. So in the broader context of the Otterverse ecosystem, Protrader serves as a crucial external liquidity outlet. It provides a vital bridge between the Otterverse economy and the broader crypto market. It allows users to actually realize gains from their Otterverse activities, whether that's playing games, staking, or selling NFTs, by converting their earned tokens into more widely accepted cryptocurrencies or stable assets if they choose to.
So it means you're not just stuck inside the Otterverse economy. You can cash out, so to speak.
Exactly. It means you're not locked in. You have established avenues to trade your earned value on the open market. It's also worth noting Protrader's own internal token burning mechanism. Now, this isn't specifically for Otterverse tokens per se, but is a common practice for DEXs where a portion of the transaction fees generated on their platform are permanently removed from circulation, burning their own native token. The documentation mentions this and suggests that Otterverse tokens may be subject to such advanced tokenomic mechanisms in the future if integrated with liquidity pools on such platforms. And indeed, as we mentioned, Protrader has already demonstrated a direct commitment by burning 1 million BOTR and 1 million OTTV. This action reinforces that the total supply of OTV is now permanently below its initial 100 million cap. So this powerful combination, having both a robust internal utility mechanism through the Otterverse marketplace and a strong potential external liquidity mechanism via DXs like Protrader, is incredibly beneficial.
It offers users the flexibility to either reinvest their earnings back within the ecosystem or convert their assets to other cryptocurrencies, creating a really balanced and resilient economic model overall.
Okay, this whole world of Web3, digital ownership, NFTs, it's incredibly exciting, no doubt. But like any new frontier, it definitely has its share of risks and potential pitfalls. How do we as users stay safe in this environment? What's the crucial advice for me to navigate the Otterverse and Web3 in general securely?
That's a vital question, maybe the most important one we discuss. In Web3, security is largely, almost entirely in your hands. You truly are your own bank, which is empowering but also carries responsibility. First, always be intensely wary of anything that seems too good to be true. Scams are rampant. If someone promises guaranteed profits, instant unrealistic returns, or offers free crypto if you just send a small upfront fee, it's almost certainly a scam. Think Ponzi schemes. Think rug pulls. In legitimate crypto, there are no risk-free guarantees. Real opportunities always involve some level of risk. Use common sense. Second, don't trust unknown tokens or suspicious airdrops. Anyone can create a token on a blockchain. It's easy. Scammers frequently send unexpected, often worthless, tokens directly to your wallet. This is known as dusting scam. Or they'll lure you with fake links promising you can claim rewards for tokens you never earned, but clicking the link or interacting with the contract actually steals your real funds.
So just ignore random stuff showing up in my wallet.
Pretty much, yes. Or at least be extremely skeptical. Never click links from unknown messages or emails promising free crypto. Always verify any supposed airdrop or token claim directly on the official sources of the project, their verified website, their official Twitter, etc. Third, constantly watch out for phishing attempts. This involves scammers impersonating trusted institutions. Could be exchanges like Coinbase or Binance, wallet providers like MetaMask or WorldApp, or even the Otterverse team themselves. They'll send fake emails or direct messages with links to fraudulent websites that look almost identical to the real ones, trying to trick you into entering your credentials or seed phrase. The golden rule here is simple but absolute. Never, ever share your password, your recovery phrases, often called seed phrases, or your private keys on any site or message. No legitimate company, no real support team will ever ask you for your private key or seed phrase. Ever.
That's the master key, right?
That's the master key to everything. Always double-check URLs meticulously before entering anything. Use bookmarks for important crypto sites to avoid accidentally mistyping and landing on a fake phishing site. Be paranoid, it pays off. Fourth, and this is perhaps the most important thing in crypto, the absolute bedrock of your security. Protect your private key seed phrase, as if your life savings depend on it, because in crypto they often do. This phrase, usually 12 or 24 words, gives full and irreversible control over your wallet. Anyone who gets hold of it can immediately take all your funds, and there's usually no way to get them back. The absolute best practice. Write the phrase down on paper and store it safely offline, maybe multiple copies in different secure physical locations. Never ever store it digitally. Not in the cloud, not in an email draft, not in your phone's notes app, nowhere online.
So if I lose that paper, I lose my crypto?
If you lose all copies of that paper and have no other backup, yes, you permanently lose access to those funds. WorldApp, like any proper self-custodial wallet, cannot reset this phrase for you. There is no forgot password button for your crypto keys. You are solely responsible. Finally, always use official sources and keep your software updated. Only download crypto apps like WorldApp from the official websites or verified app stores, Apple App Store, Google Play. Follow official announcements directly from Otterverse and WorldCoin on their verified social media channels or official websites. Don't trust random rumors. And keeping your apps updated is crucial for your security. Newer versions frequently include patches for known vulnerabilities that scammers might try to exploit. Regular updates help protect you from emerging threats.
That's incredibly vital advice. It really empowers listeners to be their own digital guardians, but also highlights the responsibility. So what this all really means is, ultimately, in Web3, you are truly your own bank.
Precisely. That profound freedom and the control it offers comes hand in hand with the inherent responsibility of self-custody and the need for perpetual vigilance. It's a trade-off, but one that many believe is worth it for true digital ownership.
Okay, given all these innovative features we've discussed, the strong foundation on a world chain, the clever tokenomics, where is the Otterverse heading next? What's the roadmap look like for its future growth and potential impact?
The roadmap for Otterverse appears ambitious and quite strategically focused based on their documentation. For the remainder of 2025, the primary objective seems to be to solidify OTTV's market position. A key part of this is the upcoming Otterverse NFT launch, which is planned for Q3, so quite soon. This period will also likely see significant expansion of the marketplace itself, more features, more categories, and other core ecosystem apps. Alongside this will be a concerted effort to increase the liquidity for both OTTV and BOTR on various exchanges, making them easier to trade. A key community growth target is also set for 2025. They're aiming to reach over 50,000 active users. This growth will likely be driven by targeted social media campaigns and probably deeper integration with analytics tools to better understand user behavior and acquisition channels. Now, looking further ahead into 2026-2027, the vision includes some highly anticipated milestones, things like BOTR and OTTV listings on CEX's centralized exchanges.
Like Binance, Coinbase, Kraken.
Potentially, yes. Those kinds of major exchanges. Getting listed there would significantly increase the accessibility, trading volume, and liquidity for these tokens, opening them up to a much broader audience of crypto investors beyond the current DX users. There are also comprehensive plans outlined for further ecosystem expansion and the development of more advanced DeFi decentralized finance products, building upon the strong foundation they're establishing now in 2025. The goal seems to be gradually integrating Otterverse more deeply into the wider decentralized financial landscape.
And it's not just about the digital assets and the financial growth, is it? I was quite refreshed to see there's a tangible, real-world impact that Otterverse is committing to as part of its mission.
Yes, that's a crucial differentiator, I think, and clearly a core value for the project. Otterverse has made a strong and clear commitment to supporting environmental initiatives. They're pledging annual grants for reforestation, clean water projects, and ecosystem restoration efforts. And they set a pretty ambitious long-term goal alongside this: to fund $10 million worth of environmental projects by the year 2040, end quote. This demonstrates a commitment that extends far beyond just the digital realm. It aims for tangible, positive, real-world impact that aligns strongly with global sustainability goals. It effectively seems to be merging gamification, NFTs, staking rewards, and even elements of regenerative finance into one unified, potentially quite impactful vision.
Wow. Okay, this has been a truly comprehensive deep dive into what feels like a genuinely fascinating and innovative ecosystem. Today, we've really unpacked the entire Otterverse, haven't we? From its core games and the strategic roles of its different tokens, right through to its potentially revolutionary NFT marketplace, we've seen how it offers accessible pathways to earning through simple play, through strategic staking, and even by becoming a digital publisher yourself, leveraging those unique listing NFTs to monetize your own creations, or maybe even invest in others. It's clear this is a system meticulously designed to give you, the user, more control, more verifiable ownership, and exciting new economic opportunities within the digital space, opportunities that often haven't existed before. So as we conclude this deep dive, maybe think about this. In a world that's increasingly dominated by digital goods, from our games and ebooks to our music and software, the Otterverse suggests a future where your ownership and your ability to actually trade those digital goods is just as real, just as verifiable, and potentially just as economically liquid as anything in the physical world. What boundless possibilities does that truly unlock? For creators seeking fairer compensation and new models. For consumers wanting real ownership of their digital lives. For the very nature of digital value itself. Could this model, or models like it, genuinely reshape how we interact with all digital content in the years to come, offering a true alternative to the traditional, often restrictive digital licenses we currently live with? We definitely encourage you to explore the Otterverse for yourself if this has piqued your interest. You can find more information and direct links to the World app, the OtterHub, and the Otterverse marketplace right there in the description of this deep dive. As always, stay curious, stay informed, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.